Good morning. I am going to take a few minutes and record a little video for you for those that were not able to be at back to school night last night. And it's really to talk about a few expectations, but also really just to go over the things that are different this year because of the meeting both live and remote, at least for now. So, so this video is for advanced science, which is second period at Shine this year. And we have a little schedule change, right? You should know that. So we meet at our second period begins at 9:45. So that's the time that we will be meeting for advanced science. I'm not going to go over everything in the syllabus. The syllabus is there for you to read. I expect that you are actually or have actually read the entire syllabus so that you understand my expectations. And then I need you to sign the last page of the syllabus, and I need one parent to also sign it. You will be bringing it with you if you are live next week. You will be uploading that electronically if we are not live, because I want to keep a copy of everybody's syllabus. So, or signed syllabus. So that is the one thing you will be, that's one of the things you'll be doing for class next week. So the main thing, or one of the biggest things I want to talk about for the next couple of minutes is my expectations for those of you that are remote each week. Each week, half of the class is remote. I believe we have 11 people in this class, so I think we have 5 and 6. I think we have 5 one week and 6 the other week. So each week we will have half of us there live. My preference, my strong preference is that you are tuned in at the scheduled class time on Tuesdays. And honestly, I feel like this is the most important for this particular class. This class is meant to be very interactive, very engaging. And therefore, I would like you to be live at class time. I have purchased myself the I don't know if it's professional, but I've purchased the remote package of Zoom, or not remote. I've purchased the package of Zoom, which allows us to have unlimited meetings. And so therefore, there's no worry about getting cut off. And on top of that, I intend to use Zoom, and I intend to record the class meetings as well as having them be live. And that way, if we have a hiccup, if we have a technology issue on your end, you would be able to watch the Zoom meeting later. But because this class is so interactive, I really don't want you to, by and large, on an ongoing basis, I really don't want you to be watching the rest of the class engage and you're just sitting and watching it, right? I want you to be actively engaged in class time. So unless there are significant technology issues for you, and if there are, I really want to talk about that. My preference is that you are live at 9:45 when we start classes, okay? So that's my preference. That way you can engage, you can ask questions, you can respond, you're actively there in the class session, okay? You do have homework due next Tuesday, okay? In this class, you're always going to be reading material, doing assignments, and then we will talk about that when we meet on Tuesdays. So if you have not begun to do your homework for next Tuesday, you need to get on it. It'll probably take you a couple hours to finish, okay? And the way that homework will work in this class is that when you join the class, which you should have already done, if you haven't done, you need to check in Schoology for the course codes, and you need to join the class. And then when you get into the class, there'll be like an advanced science general info folder that has the syllabus, the lab formatting, that kind of stuff. Then everything else will be organized by unit. We will be moving through 7 different units in this class. So unit 1, if you click on unit 1, there'll be a page that says advanced, like ADV, advanced science homework due 8/18. You're gonna click on that, and there'll be some instructions. There will also be an electronic document, a PDF, that says something like unit 1, week 1, or something like that. So each week you're going to get an electronic document from me, okay, that explains, it has a little bit of thoughts from me, it has the links, any online resources you're going to use, it has those, and then it has your actual assignments in there, okay? So you're going to read through that. Every week you're going to read something called Ideas to Explore. That's kind of my overview of the topic for the week, and then you're going to have a listing of assignments to do. on the last page of that, there's something called an assignment summary. And in advanced science, every week, you're going to have things you do in a journal, which can be an actual journal, or a 3-ring binder, or a spiral bound notebook. It's just a place where you can write stuff down, okay? And then you will have assignments that are typed, or things that you're going to turn into me. Okay, now why do I do both every week? That seems obnoxious, right? Because every week I want to see some of your work, but I don't want to see all of your work every week. Okay, so the journal is stuff that you will do and you will turn it in. You will not turn it into me ever. I don't ever collect journals. That's why it can be whatever format you want it to be in. The typed assignments are things that you will turn into me each and every week. If you're live, you'll just hand me those typed assignments. If you are remote, you will upload the typed assignments as PDFs, right? So you're going to type it up, save it as a PDF, attach it to the actual assignment. Okay, that's how you're going to do that in this class for your remote weeks. And then I'll grade it, throw your grade up in Schoology, and it'll be done. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. If you have questions, by all means, reach out to me. Okay. For as long as we are meeting half capacity, there are a few Thursdays where we will be meeting for a lab. Let me pull out my lab schedule. Okay. Usually in advanced science, we do everything in class, but I can't really do that when half the class isn't there every week. That doesn't really work. So each week, not each week, there are some things that we'll still do over a couple weeks, right? And so for the labs that we're going to do over 2 weeks, it'll happen in units where I can do the experiment in the last half of the class for half of the class 1 week, and the experiment for half of the class in the last half of the class the other week. Okay, so there are a few assignments or labs that we will do over 2 different weeks. There are also labs that we will do together on particular Thursdays. Okay, so on those Thursdays, we will be meeting not at my house because I want us to meet all together, but I have a sweet friend who's allowing us to use their barn. If you know the Deans, they are wonderful friends of ours. They have offered for us to use their barn, and we will use that on the weeks that I have scheduled. So when you go to that general info folder, the lab schedule is posted. There are only a few weeks when we do that. I'm trying to find it. I think there are 4. Okay, so there's only 4 Thursdays that I'm going to require you to meet as a class. If we're at half capacity, split capacity, if we're back in the building, maybe God will allow that, then we will do them in class. Okay, so there's 4 dates. 3 of them are in the first semester. 1 of them is in the second semester. So we'll just, that's how it's going to roll for now. If you have an absolute commitment that you can't get out of from 12 to 1 on Thursdays, I need to know about that ASAP. Okay, and we'll have to figure out what we're going to do. So that's new and different just while we're meeting at split capacity. Okay. I also work very hard to not switch those dates. So when you look at the lab schedules, you see those 4 dates, put them on your calendar. If you work part-time, see if you can get just those. It's like 1 in September, 1 in October, 1 in November. That's it. Okay. And it's just the reality of needing to do things that we really can't do separately. Okay. Reach out if you have questions on that. Your homework should take you an hour to an hour and a half, 4 days a week. If you are spending more than 6 hours doing your assignments each week for advanced science, I want you to reach out to me. Okay. If for this first week you haven't started your homework yet and you look at it and you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the number of assignments, reach out to me. I'll give you some pointers on where I want you to spend the time. Okay. But I don't want you to just not do the assignments for this week. So if you look at the assignments and you feel overwhelmed for this particular week, reach out and I'll help you out. I'll help you just navigate working through the assignments for this coming Tuesday. Okay. We typically are going to have tests due on Thursdays. You're going to take the test. Your parents will proctor you. You're going to scan and either run the test by my house if you live close to me. Some people will do that. Or you're going to attach the test to the assignment in Schoology. Now, it's really, really, really important that you have a good either actual scanner associated with a printer or that you have a scanning app that you become very familiar with. It's also really, really important that you do not write on your tests with a really, really light pencil. I'm going to hold up for you. This is a test that I actually got last year. Anybody want to try and grade a test like that? I don't. Okay. If I cannot read your test, I will simply say, I can't read it. You have to redo it. You have to rescan it. So if you use if you tend to write really, really lightly, you either need to use a pen or you need to get a softer pencil lead that's going to write more darkly. Okay. I've got to be able to read your tests. On the weeks that once we take a test, if you are a remote student the following week, I will grade your test. I will scan your test. I will return your test to you electronically. And that way, when we meet the next week, you will still have your graded test to look at. Another reason why I've got to have them in sooner rather than later. Okay, so that's how we will do that. I'm excited to be back in the building. I'm excited to be together, even halftime. I'm so grateful. Northside has given us graciously a space to meet in, and I genuinely am so grateful. And I'm excited for how this year is going to go. There is good ahead. It's going to be bumpy. I know that. Okay. I think I did say this is the third of these videos I've made. So I will be recording the weeks that are remote. Okay. So if we have a technology hiccup, I will still record the lecture and I will post it. But I don't really want to I don't want you to have to wait until I get home from school to process all the videos for you to be able to watch the lecture, which is one of the reasons. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. I think I said this earlier, but if I didn't, I want to make sure you understand. So, so that's another reason why I really want you tuned in. But if we have technology issues, you can be guaranteed the lecture will be recorded either on my phone or laptop or via Zoom, and it will be available for you to watch later if you need to. Okay. If you have feedback about the remote weeks, by all means, please reach out to me. I'm looking for constructive feedback. I know I don't have all the answers. I'm navigating this as best I can right along with you. I'm trusting that God is going to do good things in all of us as we maneuver through this year. It's going to be, there's definitely going to be things that are challenging. There's just no getting around that. We worship at Lifehouse, and we've been studying through 2 Corinthians, and I'm going to read to you a little bit out of 2 Corinthians 12. So in 2 Corinthians 12, Paul is speaking of his thorn in the flesh. And this is what he asked God to remove it. And we don't know what it was. We just know it was some kind of a difficulty. I don't even know. That's all we know. Some thorn in the flesh. But this is what God says to Paul. He said to me, this is God speaking to Paul, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast. This is what Paul says in response. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. I do not have everything that is required for this year to be fantastic. It doesn't exist within me. But I am confident that God will take my very real weaknesses, and his power will rest upon me and upon you, and together there will be goodness for us to experience as we navigate studying through advanced science this year. I'm very excited. I'm delighted to see half of you next Tuesday and the other half the following Tuesday. If you have any questions as you are reading through the material for this week, please reach out to me. I can't wait to see you. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.